What's up, everybody? Kyle here at Let's Talk Wax, and spring training has started cranking up, and we are going to take a look at the guys that could explode during spring training in 2024. There always seems to be a few prospects and early rookie 40-man guys that do have excellent spring trainings, and being on TV and being the beginning of baseball season, those Bowman Chrome autos tend to skyrocket. Last year, we had Ronnie Mauricio blow up pretty big, and Lawrence Butler. Kind of out of nowhere, two guys that performed really well just off the top of my head last year that exploded. And like I said, usually there's two or three guys that just really go off during spring training. So we're going to take a look at all the players, prospects that received non-roster invites and players on 40-man rosters. So these will be all the guys that you're going to see on TV playing in spring training games. Now, the non-roster invitees are not guaranteed a spot on the 40-man roster once camp breaks. Most of the NRIs go back to minor league camp, but a few do actually get signed on to the 40-man roster for the season. So just to clarify between those two things, each of these NRI players, and it's only going to be for the NRI guys because it's only for the prospects, they're going to have a juggernaut rank, and my juggernaut ranking system is seen below. The formula looks kind of complicated, but it's based on WOBA, stolen bases, K percentage, swinging strike percentage, and WRC plus. So it kind of combines like age level, offensive stats. The only thing it doesn't really do is defensive stats. So people are not rewarded or discounted for defensive upside. It's basically based off of solely offensive projection. But we're going to get into each division and who has an NRI to spring training camp and who is also on that 40-man roster still within rookie limits. That's very key too with the 40-man data in this video. It's only the players that are on the 40-man who are entering the 2024 season under rookie limits. We'll crank it up with the AL East. There are three big names attending Baltimore's major league camp. Is number 8 on the Juggernaut ranking system is Samuel Basallo. MLB.com's number 1 overall prospect, and he comes in at number 2 on the Juggernaut, is Jackson Holliday. And the big hitting Kobe Mayo comes in at 15. So three big names going to Orioles camp in the AL East. Out of the Tampa Bay Rays system, we've got Carson Williams, who ranked at number 40 on the Juggernaut ranking system. Had a really big year last year, kind of broke out and increased his stock a lot. But Carson Williams will be an NRI with Tampa Bay Rays. Out of Boston, we've got Chase Midrith and Nick York in the 70s on the Juggernaut ranking system. Junior Caminero, probably one of the top chases, I would say, between Jackson Holliday, Samuel Basallo, and Junior Caminero, probably in the top 10 chases in Bowman Chrome autos right now. Just three really hot players. Curtis Mead, he is going to get it on the 40-man roster as well. Sorry, I meant to say that Caminero is going to be on the 40-man roster. Mead as well, because he did not exceed rookie limits. Junior Caminero only had a handful of plate appearances, and Mead, I think, was under like 100. So the qualifications are 130 at-bats for rookie limits. We've got Cedon Rafaela with Boston, who I think could play a pretty big role in that club this year. And other two on the 40-man are Jason Dominguez and Everson Pereira, but as we know, Jason Dominguez is out with the UCL injury, so we will not see him on TV in 2024 spring training. Big NRI names out of the AL Central are Edgar Quiero, who got traded to the White Sox this offseason. He previously played for the Los Angeles Angels, and Colson Montgomery. Edgar Quiero comes in at number 53 on the Juggernaut ranking system, and Colson Montgomery at number 23 with the Chicago White Sox. And the AL Central 40-man roster invites, we've got Colt Keith, who I expect to have a really big year this year. He's been hitting for since he started his career with the Detroit Tigers in the minor league system. He's got a good, healthy blend of average and power. The thing with Colt Keith is there's not a ton of defensive upside, but his bat should get him in a lineup somewhere, and he ranks in at number 24, right behind Colson Montgomery. We've got Juan Brito. He's at number 99 on the Juggernaut, attending a big league camp under the 40-man roster. And we've also got Emmanuel Rodriguez, whose stock has kind of fallen a bit since his early days in the minors. He's got a lot of power, but the K numbers have kind of gotten a little crazy for Emmanuel Rodriguez in the upper minors. Brian Ramos, a guy I've liked for a while. He's just kind of a floor player. I don't see a huge offensive ceiling here, but I think he's going to be a solid big leaguer down the road. I don't see, like I said, I don't see a huge ceiling with Brian Ramos. I don't think the tools are quite there, but he is quite a high floor player, and he clocked in at number 76 on the Juggernaut ranking system. Quite a few NRIs that are big names coming out of the AL West. We're going to start with Nelson Rada, a speedy youngster in the Los Angeles Angel organization who's number 55 on the Juggernaut ranking system. And I do want to mention the Juggernaut ranking system does favor speedy players. It favors speedy players who are young for their level and have some offensive output with their bat. So those are really the big things, and the K numbers as well. So it's kind of an encompassing rank, and speed does play a big part of it because you know how valuable the speed power is within the hobby and within the game itself right now. Everybody's trying to, find these speed power guys like Ellie De La Cruz. So we've got Nelson Rada, not a lot of power out of Rada yet, but he's still very young, but a lot of speed, number 55. Jacob Wilson with the Oakland A's is going to be attending big league camp, number 79 from last year's draft. He's at number 79 on the first rounder out of last year's draft at number 79 on the Juggernaut system. Harry Ford out of 2021 draft, number 50. We've got Tyler Locklear and Cole Young. The Seattle farm system is pretty solid. I should have put Ryan Bliss on there at number 100. He was traded to the Seattle this past year too. We've got Wyatt Langford, the number 1 Juggernaut rankee on my Juggernaut ranking system. Had just an incredible pro debut. Went from the complex league to AAA. Had a 300-plus batting average, 300-plus ISO, just really crazy numbers. The only thing is it was under like a 200-ish plate appearance sample size, so I'm not really sure if he's going to be able to repeat those crazy numbers in 2024, but he does have a very big bat, and I would expect him to break into the lineup at some point in 2024 with the Rangers, if not break camp with the big league squad. I think he's one guy who's got a pretty good chance among these NRI guys to break camp. So the 40-man roster players are going to be Kyron Paris out of the Los Angeles Angels system. Noah Schanuel did not qualify because he doesn't have Bowman Chrome Auto. So I think he's in Top Series 1, which releases today, actually. Daryl Hernandez is with the Oakland A's, number 40. Jonathan Clase, number 80 with the Seattle Mariners. And Evan Carter, number 10 with the Texas Rangers. Still in rookie limits in 2024, so he could make a run at AL Rookie of the Year for sure. We're going to jump to the National League next. And before we go any further, if you guys enjoy my content and would like to help support the channel, be sure to check out my Patreon page. I'll put a link to it in the video description. I have free and exclusive subscriber content over there, including Bowman Chrome autograph checklists for every release since 2019, Bowman team break guides for every release since 2020, a top 150 Bowman Chrome autos list, a top 150 Bowman Chrome autos under $50 list, access to my complete Juggernaut ranking system for all minor league players in 2023, and early access to my YouTube videos and a Let's Talk Wax articles, plus much more. We've got a private Discord server over there, and you can find all my exclusive content organized in the collections tab of my homepage over on Patreon. It gets a little confusing over there, but if you just click on the collections tab, it'll bring up all of my exclusive content that's organized neatly on that page. Like I said, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Patreon page. There's lots of stuff to keep you busy over there all spring long. Coming out of the NL East, the NRI guys are Ignacio Alvarez. They called him Nacho with the Atlanta Braves. He is a very contact-oriented bat that could grow into some power and does have more defensive upside than I think a lot of us assumed. Post-draft, we've got Jet Williams at number 3. So our top 3 on the Juggernaut ranking system are Wyatt Langford, Jackson Holliday, and at number 3, we've got Jet Williams, who really turned on late last year. Speed, power, age level is all there, and he makes a lot of quality contact. So he's definitely a guy that could rise quite a bit. I think he's already gotten the attention of most collectors in the hobby, but he's definitely a guy who could rise if he performs well in spring training even a little bit more. Brady House had a really big year last year after kind of just being okay in 2022, but he's definitely a guy to keep an eye on. James Wood is at number 37, a huge power profile for James Wood. I remember it might have been 2 years ago, Joshua Mears, who hit a 115-mile-an-hour exit velocity home run on TV, and his autos skyrocketed up to like $125. And over the course of the minor league season that followed, he struck out at like 42% rate, and all this stuff dropped off. So you can see how spring training hype can just boost numbers. And James Wood is a guy that could go up there in a spring training game and hit a 115 exit velo home run because he's got that kind of juice, and just his stuff would skyrocket. So definitely a guy to watch. He's a guy that could really blow up with his power. Luis Angel Acuna is a 40-man guy now with the New York Mets. He was traded from the Rangers at number 51. I really like this guy. I know Ronnie Mauricio is out for probably what might be the majority of the season in 2024, and that's going to open up an infield slot for Luis Angel. He's got as much speed as his brother has power, and he's got a pretty solid hit tool as well. So those are some guys to watch out of the NL East. NRIs coming out of the NL Central are Matt Shaw, who was recently drafted by the Chicago Cubs. He is number 5 on the Juggernaut ranking system. Owen Casey had some big power. He's got a lot more power, I think, than contact right now. Not a whole lot of defensive upside, but he hits for a solid average. I think he's around a 270 hitter, but his power is really starting to take off. He showed it off this year in Double-A. Edwin Arroyo does not have a Bowman Chrome auto, but he does have a first Chrome in 2021 draft. Definitely a guy to keep an eye on in the Cincinnati Reds organization. I know it's clogged with a lot of middle infielders, but he's definitely one to watch. He could be trade bait, but he could really take off and have a big year in 2024. Tyler Black, one of the older players on this list, had a huge speed power showing in 2023 last year. So I'm really excited to see what he can do if he gets called up and put in a position to play in 2024. Termar Johnson, another big power prospect out of the Pittsburgh organization, number 48 on the Juggernaut. And Tommy Sagasi, who was traded to the St. Louis Cardinals this past year, at number 31. Hopefully that trade can open up some more doors to some middle infield or third base. Looks for him. He's probably not going to be good enough to play shortstop, but second base, third base, he might be a role for him with the St. Louis organization. But, you know, with Jordan Walker, we never really know what's going to happen, how he's going to perform at third base. So Sagasi is a big bat. He's been a big bat in the minor leagues for several years now. It's just been really hard to get him in a system where he's got a clear path to the major leagues. Coming into the 40-man rosters in the NL Central is Kevin Alcantara at number 64. Pete Crow Armstrong, who I think could make a run at NL Rookie of the Year at number 32. Noelvi Marte at number 65. Both of those guys still within rookie limits. Jackson Chourio just signed the big contract, so I would expect him to break camp with the minor league club for sure and have a starting role opening day somewhere in the outfield. They're not going to put all that money into a player to have him sit on the bench, and he's the number 2 in most majority top 100 lists out there. Jefferson Quiero, also coming out of the Milwaukee organization. He was in Double-A, I think. Very young player, catcher, very big bat. Definitely a guy to watch. His cards are still pretty cheap, too, as well. Mason Wynn, still under rookie limits with St. Louis Cardinals, and he is number 61 on the Juggernaut ranking system. We're going to wrap things up with the NL West, where there's not a ton of action going on, and as I did not mention before, I'm not going to highlight every single player because the lists are very long. So if you guys wanted to grab screenshots, you can go back and screenshot all of these players and see who you'll be seeing on TV during MLB Spring Training, like I said, and who's got a chance to go out there and go from zero to hero. But out of the NL West, we've got Ethan Salas with an NRI number 27. He was promoted all the way to Double-A, but he only hit in Low A, really. He blew up Low A. Didn't hit well in High A, got promoted to Double-A, didn't hit well in Double-A, but I think the defense is way ahead of the bat, and when his age catches up, when, you know, he's more age level appropriate, I still think the bat will begin to play a little more, but he was just rushed out of Low A this year when he probably could have stuck in High A for sure and gotten acclimated to that level. Jackson Merrill, number 82. Jacob Marcy had a huge Arizona Fall League and broke out off of everybody's radar this past Arizona Fall League. He's at number 69. And 40-man wise, we're looking at Jordan Lawler, still within rookie limits at number 13 with the Diamondbacks. We've got Adiel Amador, who will be on the 40-man roster for the Colorado Rockies, coming in at number 20. And Andy Pajes with the Dodgers, a big power prospect at number 35. So definitely some guys to take a look at out of the NL West. That's going to wrap up this video. A huge shout out to all my Patreon level 3 subscribers and everyone else who supports me over there. Be sure to let me know in the comments who you think could explode in 2024 spring training this year. It's right around the corner. Y'all have a great day.